To assemble the LM317T voltage regulator, we need an LM317T regulator, a 100 nanofarad capacitor, a 10 microfarad capacitor, a 470 ohm resistor, and a 5 kilo ohm potentiometer, which in our case I took a trimer potentiometer. A maximum of 37 volts DC power supply can be connected to the LM317T input. It would be very useful if the regulator was mounted on the housing so that it does not get too hot. However, since in our case we will not load it, it is not necessary to mount it on the housing. So let's begin. The LM317T regulator has input on pin 3, output on pin 2 and adjust on pin 1. First, we connect pin 3 to the plus 12 volts DC supply. Then we connect a capacitor of 100 nanofarads from the plus 12 volts DC supply to the minus 12 volts DC supply. Then we put a 470 ohm resistor between pin 1 and pin 2. Then we connect from pin 1 to the first connector of the trimmer potentiometer, and the other two connectors are connected to the minus 12 volts DC power supply. Then we connect from pin 2 to the plus polarity of the 10 microfarad capacitor, and the minus polarity to the minus 12 volts DC power supply. If we connected everything correctly, we can connect the 12 volts DC power supply. We can then measure the voltage on pin 2 and the minus 12 volts DC supply, which should be between 1.2 and 12 volts DC. The voltage is changed with a trimmer potentiometer. If you had a voltage at the input of 30 volts, then you could change the voltage between 1.2 and 30 volts.